For joining this live weather briefing. No, sorry. So used to saying that this year. Actually, we're going to be talking about safety and whatnot during both tornadoes, destructive storms, as well as hurricanes, tropical systems, and what you should do. So we're going to go ahead and go over my experience when dealing with general public when it comes to severe weather is that most of the time, people don't heed warnings. Now, I understand there is kind of a reason uh, regarding that is because back even a couple of years ago when they issued tornado warnings, they would issue a tornado warning for an entire county. And not all National Weather Service offices did that, but what the problem that created was it was false alarm. Because, for example, you could have a county, uh, say for like over here, counties can be pretty large. You could have two or three very large cities in one county, and that creates a problem. But now what they do is they do impact-based warning polygons that are when you have a warning issued for your area, it's directly for that particular area where the rotation is going to possibly track. And they should have incorporated that a long time ago. So we're going to go ahead and go over what not to do during a tornado. I know a lot of people already know this, but we're going to go over it anyway. We don't got much to talk about, so we're going to go over it. So don't wait until you see a tornado to take cover. So if you're not aware, if you're not a professional, if you're not a storm chaser that has years and years of experience and you do not have a degree that backs your education up and you're not adversed with tornadoes and tornado genesis, I do not recommend waiting until you see the tornado because during the winter months, tornadoes can go 50 to 70 miles per hour. For example, the Mayfield, Kentucky tornado, December 10th, 11. So don't waste time opening the windows. This myth has been debunked for many, many years now. Actually, in fact, if you have a window, it's actually a compromise in the structure. So whenever you have windows in your house, it's actually a compromise in the structure, meaning that's a weak spot to be exploited by elemental forces that are, impactful for debris or wind, hail, whatnot. Um, Doorways are the same as well. I see it all the time. I see it all the time in my damage surveys and my research. Whenever you have a window, those usually go first. What happens is it creates a funneling effect for the wind to actually intensify as it comes into that window, and it basically expands the window. Basically, you can see the window and the wall moving at that point. It's looks like it's breathing. That's because the wind and the velocity that's coming into that window is forcing the home to expand, and basically it will explode. You'll have the roof come off or the walls or the entire home collapse. Um, Very simple physics. Uh, very simple to understand. Don't be by a window. Put as many walls as between you as possible. If you have a basement, that has an outside patio that's connected to it, get to the very back and closer to the area where there's no way for that wind to actually, if there's a tornado, to suck you out through the back of the house. So I see this often. Don't take the elevator during a thunderstorm or tornado warning. You lose the power, you're going to be stuck in there for a while. You could be stuck in there for 20 minutes. You could be stuck in there for 9 hours. Take the stairs. It's also healthier. It's better for your cardio. Um, don't seek shelter from a tornado under overpass. I mean, an underpass. Sorry, overpass. So the reason for that being is, in many examples that I've been in, I have been closer to a tornado than the people behind me that were under the bridge or an overpass, and they have gotten sucked out of that overpass, and I'm just fine sitting here looking at the tornado pass. But what happens is you have the winds coming up underneath the overpass, and those winds accelerate. And as they accelerate, they pull inward to the tornado. So I'm here closer to the tornado, and the people underneath the overpass are getting pulled into the tornado, which not only puts my life in danger, but also puts other people's lives in danger that have stopped and have done what they needed to do and pulled over to the side of the road safe in a safe manner and in a safe position of the tornado. So what you're doing when you have people underneath the overpass, they need to get out from underneath that overpass. Hail at that point is your last concern. Cars can be replaced, people can't. So, we're also going to go over don't assume a tornado or severe weather threat is past if it's quiet. My expertise in the field, sometimes it gets incredibly quiet whenever you have a tornado about to impact. It sounds strange, but it's not. So, every storm, every supercellular storm is different. Every situation is different. It doesn't mean that this situation is going to be the same at your location or your town or your home or wherever you are. You can have a tornado, a weak or strong tornado, impact your area after the rain and stuff subsides. That is because sometimes when you have the tornado, the winds around the tornado eject the precipitation out, especially if it is a high HP day, meaning high precipitation rates, meaning most of the time those are rain wrapped. But the fact is, sometimes you can have the winds around the tornado, the vorticity type winds, eject the precipitation out, and then the tornado will impact. So you might have maybe 5 to 15 seconds of quietness, and then the tornado will come in and it will impact and do what it needs to do before getting out of there. The other thing is sometimes you'll get hail on the back side of a tornado. It's not always the case. Every supercell is different. But sometimes you will get hail on the back side of the tornado, and that is because sometimes the hail aloft is held aloft by the vorticity type updraft and wind. In the back side of it, you'll have a hail dump. It's a hail dump because you'll have all of the hail coming down at once. Sometimes you'll have hail being ingested into the inflow of the vorticity type winds or the tornado itself and being slingshot around to the other side. That can happen as well. Sometimes you'll get hail in a general area, a general widespread area. You'll have the tornado on one side and hail on one side and be coming down. Sometimes it'll be wind blown. Every situation is different and it calls for a different reaction to every action. So, don't scramble for supplies when you should be taking shelter. So, whenever you have a tornado warning or a severe thunderstorm warning issued, don't scramble for supplies. You can always go back and get it later. It's not a big deal and whatnot. So, don't rely on traditional news and media outlets for tornado and severe weather safety warnings. You need to listen to the pros. Listen to your meteorologist that's talking. Listen to people who know what they're talking about. If you know people who are storm chasers in the field and they're on the storm and they know for a fact that they passed your house or passed that town and it's safe now and the tornado's gone, then that's fine. Listen to NOAA Weather Radio. If it's good, listen to that as well. One of the biggest things that I see while I'm in the field is I will have people ask me right as a tornado is bearing down. I think this was in Claude. This was in Claude, Texas. Whenever you have a tornado, whenever you see me, And I want people to understand this. Whenever you see me and I'm there and there's a tornado warning, this is what I do. This is my research and my science. I'm going to track that tornado. Do not follow me. Do not follow me. Do not follow me. I have people do it, and I have to stop, and I have to tell them, don't follow me. Um, because what I do is I get very close to the tornado, and anything can happen. So the fact is, and also if you know someone who's trustworthy and is a chaser and a meteorologist that's in the field during these events, and you're be careful who you listen to regarding information because during the Claude and a couple other tornadoes in Oklahoma and Texas last couple of years, I've had people tell civilians, go this way or go that way when that would put their life in danger. So, for example, if you have supercells, 3 to 5 supercells that are somewhat isolated in a high precipitation day, meaning rain wrap, going northeast at 45 to 50 miles an hour, and you only have a easterly and a not even a northeasterly option, but a straight north and a easterly and a south option. You do not want to go south because at that point, those are going to be tracking over the same area and lifting towards the northeast. They were more east-northeast, but northeast oriented was mostly what their movement was. So I had someone say, go south. Don't go south. You're going to run right into, you're going to core slice the top of that, you're going to core slice the top of that supercell and run right into that rotation. You're not even going to know what you're running into, and you won't even know what you're looking at. You have to go east and then southeast and then south. That way, you put yourself far enough out of orientation of the movement of the storms and you drop directly south, and those will go to your northeast. In that situation, that's the best play to use. There's a every situation's different. I mean, that's one particular situation where I had a say so in and whatnot. And don't panic. Last thing you want to do is panic. Panicking causes problems. Panicking causes wrecks. Let's say if you panic, you get nervous and you hit someone and you block 8 cars, and there's 2 people in each car. You're looking at possibly all those people getting hit by a tornado because it was your fault and you decided that you wanted to have a panic attack and cause a wreck in the road. So please, think about your actions and whatnot before you do them. I know this sounds a little harsh, but one of the things over the last 5 years is I've noticed is that people have been uh, neglecting these warnings more and more. And there are people behind the scenes that are professionals that go to school for 5+ years to be meteorologists, whether you watch one on TV or you're monitoring one on social media or whatnot. The information that we put out and they put out is critical, time critical information that goes to you to warn you of what's happening in your area at the time. So I hope this was helpful. Please share this video. It's very helpful for everyone. This is Jacques Meteorologist. I'm going to go ahead and end this